How do social networks influence the evolution of cooperation? How do leaders, administrators, and managers create organizational networks that nurture cooperation? I'll try to answer those questions in this video. Cooperation is the process of working together towards a common goal. A group of individuals needs to align their actions and efforts to achieve shared goals. Cooperation is fundamental to human societies. It is also the key to organizational success because the essence of an organization is to coordinate diverse skills, knowledge, expertise, and resources to achieve organizational goals that individuals cannot accomplish alone. Effective cooperation leads to synergy, where the collective efforts of a team results in greater outcomes than the sum of individual contributions. Several mechanisms drive cooperation in social networks. Direct reciprocity occurs when individuals reciprocate the actions of others they interact with. For example, if a colleague helps you with a project, you are likely to return the favor when they need help. Indirect reciprocity means cooperation is based on reputation and past behaviors observed in the social network. For example, if an employee is known for consistently supporting their team, others are more inclined to help them, even if they have not directly interacted with that person before. This creates a culture of cooperation built on trust and reputation. The structure of a social network also plays an important role in how cooperation emerges. For example, in a network where some people have many connections and others have few, cooperation is more likely to happen. Think of it like a school where some students are very popular and know many other students while others know only a few people. People with many connections are called influential hubs. Those hubs can play a big role in spreading behaviors because they interact with many others. For example, if a popular student starts a trend, it can quickly spread to the whole school. In the context of cooperation in organizations, if those influential hubs start cooperating or working together nicely, they can inspire others to do the same. Because they are connected to many people, their cooperative behavior sets an example that others are likely to follow. In some cases, the structure of a social network can completely determine the outcome of a frequency-dependent selection process. This is where the success or fitness of a behavior depends on how common it is in the population. For example, a tightly knit network like a close-knit community may support cooperation more effectively than a loosely connected one, such as a large dispersed organization. In a tight network with high density, frequent interactions reinforce cooperative norms, making it easier for cooperation to thrive. Imagine a small team working closely together on a project. They interact daily, share responsibilities, and quickly address any issues that arise. This tight-knit structure promotes cooperation because everyone sees the direct impact of their actions on the group. On the other hand, a large corporation with employees spread across different locations may struggle with cooperation due to less frequent interactions and weaker personal connections. Not all behaviors spread the same way through social networks. Emotional states like smiling or yawning often spread through neurophysiological processes. When you see someone smile, it can trigger a similar response in you because of mirror neurons in your brain. Those neurons, as the name suggests, mirror the actions and emotions of others, making you more likely to smile when you see someone else do it. This process is almost automatic and does not require conscious thought. By contrast, behaviors like cooperation spread through different mechanisms, primarily social norms and psychological processes such as innate mimicry. Social norms are the unwritten rules about how to behave that we learn from our environment. For example, in a workplace where collaboration is valued and regularly practiced, you may feel a social expectation to cooperate with your colleagues. Over time, this cooperative behavior becomes a norm, and the new employees will quickly learn to follow it. Innate mimicry is another way that cooperation spreads. It means people naturally imitate the behaviors they observe in others. If you see your colleagues working together effectively on a project, you are more likely to mimic their cooperative behavior, especially if you see it leads to successful outcomes. This is because humans have a tendency to imitate behaviors that seem beneficial or are rewarded in their social group. Consider a scenario in a busy office when a few employees start a habit of sharing their resources and helping each other with tasks. Others in the office observe the benefits of this cooperative behavior, such as improved efficiency and a more pleasant work environment. Over time, more employees began to adopt this cooperative behavior, not just because they see the practical benefits, but also because they want to fit in with the positive social norms that are developing. Understanding the role of innate mimicry in spreading cooperative behavior has important implications for leaders who want to improve cooperation in their teams. Interventions that leverage innate mimicry can be highly effective. Peer mentoring programs, where experienced employees model positive behaviors for new hires, can promote a culture of cooperation. Another intervention for cooperation is to introduce punishment for non-cooperative behavior. Punishment can initiate cooperative cascades because it creates a clear consequence for non-cooperative behavior, which influences both the punished individual and those who observe the punishment. Here is how it works. When someone is punished for not cooperating, they experience a direct consequence. This punishment could be in the form of a reprimand or social disapproval. In the workplace, an employee who consistently fails to participate in team projects may receive a negative performance review. This direct consequence motivates the employee to change their behavior and start cooperating to avoid future punishment. Other individuals in the network observe the punishment and learn from it. They realize that a similar behavior may lead to similar consequences for them, so they become more inclined to cooperate. Observing the consequences of punishment triggers a behavioral change in others, creating a cascading effect. As more people start cooperating to avoid punishment, their behavior influences even more people. Collectively, a new cooperative norm is established in the team, which encourages even more employees to follow suit. New employees quickly learn that cooperation is the expected behavior, and they adapt to fit into this environment. The initial act of punishment can lead to widespread cooperative behavioral changes through the cascading effect. The initial punishment of one employee leads to increased cooperation from several others. These employees then model cooperative behavior for even more colleagues, amplifying the overall effect and leading to a highly cooperative work environment. This cascading effect can explain how small changes in organizations, like informal norms or formal punishment rules, can lead to significant changes in group behavior. An organization introducing and implementing a policy that rewards teamwork and cooperation can start a cascade of cooperative behavior as employees begin to see the benefits of working together. Over time, this can transform the organizational culture. What happens when leaders fail to enforce punishment for non-cooperative behavior? Several negative consequences can arise. The first negative consequence is an erosion of cooperative norms. In the workplace where leaders do not address non-cooperative behaviors, such as employees not contributing to team projects or failing to meet deadlines, cooperative behavior will decline. Without consequences for non-cooperation, individuals may feel that there is no incentive to contribute or adhere to group norms. This can lead to a culture where cooperative behaviors are not valued or practiced. The second negative consequence is decreased motivation and morale. If team members see that non-cooperative behavior goes unpunished, those who are putting in effort may feel demotivated. Leaders' failure to enforce punishment can create a sense of unfairness and inequality in the group. Cooperative individuals may feel that their efforts are not recognized or appreciated, leading to decreased motivation and lower overall morale. The third negative consequence is increased free riding. Free riding is a term used in economics and social sciences to describe a situation where individuals benefit from resources, goods, or services without paying for them or contributing to their provision. In a cooperative context, it refers to people who take advantage of the efforts of others without contributing their fair share. In a group project, if some members do not contribute, but still receive the same rewards as those who work hard, others may start to adopt the same non-cooperative behavior, leading to an increase in free riding. The fourth negative consequence is deterioration of trust and cooperation. Trust is a key component of cooperation. When non-cooperative behavior is not addressed, it can lead to a breakdown of trust in the group. Members may become less willing to cooperate with and rely on each other, undermining the group's ability to function effectively. One more key idea about cooperation in social networks is the 3 degrees of influence rule. This rule suggests that cooperative behavior can spread through a social network up to 3 degrees of separation. You start a new practice of helping your colleagues with their tasks at work. Inspired by your help, your close colleagues may decide to adopt similar cooperative behavior. This is the first degree of influence where your behavior directly impacts those you interact with regularly. Your colleagues, now motivated by your cooperative behavior, begin to help their own colleagues with their task. Even though you don't know those second-degree connections personally, your initial behavior is indirectly influencing them through your colleagues. The colleagues of your colleagues continue to spread cooperative behavior by helping others in their own social circles. Those third-degree connections are people you have no direct contact with, yet they're affected by the cooperative behavior you initiated. Each person in a social network can influence dozens or even hundreds of others. If you influence 5 colleagues, and each of them influence 5 more, the reach of your cooperative behavior expands exponentially. In a workplace, if a leader adopts and promotes a culture of cooperation, the 3 degrees of influence rule suggests that one person can influence not just their immediate team, the first degree, but also the team their employees interact with, which is the second degree, and potentially the entire organization, which is the third degree. This rule helps explain the powerful impact of social networks on promoting and sustaining cooperative behavior in groups and organizations. Now, take a moment to reflect on how you can apply the insights into cooperation and the social networks to your own organization. Think about the social networks you are part of and how you can shape a social norm of cooperation in your organization.